This woman had just finished bathing in the sea, but when she came ashore, she found her husband facing a large tree, taking off his pants. He had his belt around his foot and was climbing the coconut tree like a monkey. Aileen thought her husband was going to pick coconuts for her, so she happily walked toward him. But when she reached him, she overheard her husband talking on the phone with another woman. Aileen was furious. She felt like shaking the tree to make him fall, but she decided to wait and see how her husband would react.
Я с тобой тут, пока она там лечит.
Сережа!
Her husband's face instantly changed. He panicked and hid the phone. Seeing that his wife didn't show any sign of suspicion, Jack thought he had gotten away with it and casually claimed he was just picking coconuts. But when Aileen heard such a dismissive excuse, she didn't get angry. Instead, she nodded confidently. It seemed like she had already planned everything out. That night, they rested on the beach. Aileen waited for her husband's explanation, but Jack just lay on top of her, saying nothing at all. The more Aileen watched, the angrier she got, but she acted as though nothing had happened. When her husband fell asleep, she quietly picked up his phone, wanting to know who he had been talking to. But to her surprise, the phone required a password. Looking at the boat they had arrived in, the wife made a decision, one that would make Jack regret it for the rest of his life. The next morning, the wife told Jack bad news. Their phones and the boat had been swept away by the waves. Jack was skeptical when he heard her, but he still pretended not to care, sitting on the beach as if looking at the scenery. Seeing her husband in a bad mood, Aileen said she would go get some fruit for him, but once she entered the woods, she headed straight for a rocky cave. The yacht and phones hadn't been lost. This was all part of the wife's plan. She wanted to trap her husband on the island forever, so he could never leave her again. But what she didn't know was that her husband already knew the truth.